Okay. Let's look around some.
Not in the mood for cheese.
Who are you, Cilia the Enchantress?
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
So we can't talk to her at all? I mean, okay. We can trade.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
So many things. Intelligence telekinesis, that's not bad. Plus 530, that's not massive. I mean, Warrant is always good for our maid.
And green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Hydrosophist and Arrow Thurge stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
What magic is this? Just generally? Magic? Ice Shard? Resurrect Scroll. Oh, these are just scrolls. So yeah, never mind. Resurrect Scrolls cost 96 with her. Didn't they cost like 300 or something with the cat? That's pretty cheap. It's good to know.
Quiet day on the
Pixie
market,
dust.
it seems.
Originally gathered from the dwellings of pixies, it's best not to think too hard about the origins of this dust. Alright. Little doll. Or other wooden figurine.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
It's getting slightly annoying. Rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. If we only could talk to animals.
Toe of snake,
Only we
wing
could
of
talk to
worm.
animals.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Plumpest produce ever produced.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
End. Citizen.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of...
Undead at every exit!
We're sealed in. Cheese went,
What do you
vendor.
have? I'll get white cheese, blue cheese, old cheese, new cheese.
Alright.
Potatoes.
Fish vendor.
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11?
I'd like Ocean's 11, yes.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
I don't trust people who call me love.
Many cheeses.
A sauce hunter?
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison?
I like a bow, first
Get
of
to the
all.
point.
189. Or a burning old standard issue bow of destruction.
Halibut,
That's a stupid
sheep's
name.
cheese, tomatoes.
10% chance to set burning status for 2 turns. Also, 21 to 36.
Mood for cheese.
Plus dexterity 5.
Than a slice of this fine Gorman bear.
Level 2. Melvin bow of antique design yet modern construction. The knock
This batch is
is a
only
deep
hours
V-shaped
from the
groove
sea.
in tribute to the famed
Let's
archers
see.
of Verdistis.
Halibut, sheep's cheese,
It's
tomatoes.
Red
could
and
just fire
orange,
one of these
yellow and
bows.
green, the finest
Maybe we'll find
veggies
something.
size seals ever seen. Portions to be
Or I could just steal one.
Scrolls to entussle
Ah,
you.
hello, proportionate one.
Proportionate
I can
one,
see
what?
from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
Also, hi Winter Shadow 999.
More holes than a slice of this
Good of you
fine
to join the
Gorman
stream.
Join the Spud Club if you got
How
an eye
you
for
doing?
farm potatoes.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sicil, and you'd be quite right.
Worm.
I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps. Like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
He's just painting the rooster a lot, isn't he?
Red and orange,
'Cause there's
yellow and green, the
like paintings of
finest
roosters
veggies
everywhere.
Sicily's ever seen.
Treasure.
Aaron has as
Ooh,
many friends as the man with many cheeses.
nice. I mean, those are pretty expensive. I hope they're worth it. I'll have a look at that later.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish.
Right.
Yours
Who
for
else is
a
here?
$20 each.
Chicken. I bet there's like a whole lot of drama going on between the rooster and the chickens or something, right? At once we have a... Oh, she doesn't have pet pal, does she? She grew up with bears, after all. They were just bully stench and arrow recovery.
Will inject some vim into your routine.
Oh, she'll get... Can she get pet pal?
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
No? Oh, is that a skill that only my main characters can get? Maybe. That's
Ain't a
unfortunate.
big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good
Right, who are you? Bersha?
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos.
Things is chaos indeed.
If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
Oh, the trio of sailors that's out of a job. I could help her.
Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her.
Haggis,
I plan on
huh?
pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand.
Now, have you guys ever eaten haggis? I have when I was in Scotland. It's kind of the, like one of the national dishes there, right? Which is like sheep intestines
Perhaps
with
wrestling
the
an
seasonings or
earth
whatever. It's not
elemental
so
will
bad
inject
if it's
some
well done.
vim into your routine.
Although like the thought of it might be a bit
Well,
weird.
hello there.
Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
Not in the mood for cheese.
Right, yeah, so that's everything.
Excuses more holes with
Right,
a
so I
spud.
think we've spoken to most vendors then, right? This'll... Where does this lead? Oh, just back to the... Wait, let's look at the map. So this is Esmeralda, this'll just lead back to Aureus and the headquarters. This is the northern gate. Sicil North Gate. Yeah, we could activate that waypoint. I don't think we have that yet. Also, we could... Yeah. I mean, next thing, I'm probably gonna look at this house and then the crime scene. I think we've pretty much finished the market now. No. Cancel. Oh, right. Wrong direction. I want you guys to actually check out this area.
What? Where is everyone trotting off to? Don't they want to hear how the story ends?
Who's talking?
Doesn't anyone care about the oldest
Oh,
dragon
this one.
knight of Rivellon and his machines of rainbow?
No one
ribbon
cares,
war?
dude. What is this? Oh! This has got to be the fattest and cutest sheep in all of existence. Oh my god, look at that. I want to talk to it. I can't, right? I can't talk to animals. Blah! I'll take... I like how you just, like, you'll just say, I'll take my leave to the sheep. It's like, good day to you, good sir.
His very existence.
Ooh. Reginald's spare key. Aren't we nasty? I'll be good. Okay, it'll do. I'll be a responsible adult and close the gate and leave it the way I found it, right? I don't want the sheep to run away. So what's this? Can I go down the well? Probably. No, wait, what? Combine items to discover recipes. Select 2 ingredients. Well, what? I don't get it. Can I combine the well with a bucket and then get some water that way, or what? What else would I combine with that? I could throw I could throw something down the well, I suppose. Nothing I need to get rid of desperately, though.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Ooh.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want to disturb it?
Not exactly. We and our shovels do as we please.
No. That would be an insult to the dead.
Yeah, that fits with her character, but she'll be contrarian here.
You can't insult what's not alive to be offended. I say we
Oh,
dig.
ever the rationalists, Lisa. So the question is, like, if I contradict here, Ganesh will always win the argument. She got that charisma. Do I want to dig or don't I want to dig? I think I do want to dig.
All right, we'll do it your way.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet once more.
It's giving us plenty of opportunity to turn around here. There's probably a hard fight or something, right?
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find something.
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
Well, that didn't turn out so well. I mean, one of our party members survived. Look at that. Wouldn't it be funny if you played like the permadeath mode and everyone just stood there and then died and your game was over like this? I mean, I guess you just have to be careful with stuff like this if you're doing the permadeath mode. Because this was like literally like 30,000. 30,000 damage, right? So, did I get anything from this? I mean, I do have 2 resurrection scrolls, so I could resurrect these 2. But I didn't get anything from this, did I? Not like literally nothing.
Back on my feet again. Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend?
Right. So no loot at all. I might as well save scum this then. Oh god, did I save before this? Probably not, huh? Oh, I did. Alright.
The earth here seems to have been...
We and our shovels will do as we please.
Oh no,
we
I messed
most
it up.
certainly will not. We'll respect this gravesite by leaving it...
All right, we'll do...
You step away from the grave.
Heartless compassionate, that's actually the wrong way around. Messed that up, sorry. So, boop.
The earth here seems...
Right. No, that would be an insult to the dead. That's her move.
No, that would be an insult to the dead.
You can't insult what's not alive to be offended.
I'd hate to see you ruin those lovely hands of yours with calluses and dirt.
Whoever's buried here won't notice that we've disturbed the dirt above them.
She didn't actually answer the charming attempt with her beautiful hands or whatever.
No. We'll do.
You step away from the grave.
Okay. Okay, well. So this is Philirian's House of Healing. Can I destroy this site? Apparently.
Grave responsibilities. But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold. Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But, no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah?
What are you saying, dude? You insulting me to my face?
So, which of you is
Me?
more deserving?
Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late.
Oh, Evelyn's your apprentice, huh? Oh wait, do we know Evelyn? No. That was Esmeralda.
Yes.
Yes.
If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions.
So?
I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it.
Is that a euphemism for saying you banged her? I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years.
I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men. Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones.
Oh, he had just the potions.
A mysterious healing stone? Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
What? There's an eye in the skeleton?
Which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
Come make your case? What the hell? The absence of the 7 gods.
Those men
Fun with fluids.
This word.
An apothecary's primer, this manual lays out a starting plan for the burgeoning creator of
Which
potions.
is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
God, these guys are groaning. Stephen.
Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the 7 do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm sorry. It's this task.
Oh,
I'm
what?
just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way?
Who are you, indeed? I mean, there's a limited amount of resurrect scrolls, right? It seems they all cost 96. Should I just buy some? Eh.
I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I.
Oh god.
What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away.
Can't have gotten far.
Quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less.
So he's like a pensioner.
Nearly
3
everyone in
grandchildren.
Sicile is familiar with grinning Stephen, and as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family.
Oh my god.
Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously.
I'm not actually ready.
Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the edge with each passing minute.
So... I mean, if this is a good RPG, and I know it is, there's probably a way to save both, right? Right?
What a relief to share the burden of this impossible task.
I can't talk to them, can I? That'll just take up not enough space. You what? Okay. Key to Felurian's back room. Sneaking failed. I want all the keys, please. This is the back room. Ornate chest. Yeah, I really kinda need a robe.
Please, these men don't have long.
Oh, okay. So if she says it like that,
What a
then
relief
they'll
to
probably
share the
both
burden
die
of
if I
this
don't decide,
impossible
right?
task.
Little Bo Bertha lost her sheep. Bertha the animal vendor claims to have lost a sheep. If we find a missing sheep, we should tell her. Okay. The apprentice and the stone. The healer's apprentice, Evelyn, asked us to help her decide which of the 2 dying men should receive a healing stone. Right. I mean...
What do you think? What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead.
Excellent in matters of
a
business.
young man, but excellent. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him. Nearly quite the venerable staple of... Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with grinning Stephen. And,
I mean, I've
as you
always
can
held
imagine,
that, like,
he's
kind
quite
of...
dear to his family.
Morally, as a healer, you can't really judge the value of a life by anything, right? all lives are equally valuable. And you certainly can't judge it by how useful someone is for their community. Or at least that wouldn't be the right thing to do, I think. This is further complicated, of course, by the fact that both of these guys are pretty useful members of their communities. And I think, I don't know, and loved by many or whatever, or heroes in their own regard. So, tell me about yourself.
In this moment, I do believe I'm the most pain-stricken soul in Sicil.
Who am I to play the gods, yeah.
To choose so directly between
I mean, this
two lives.
Probably shouldn't
Who
be a
am I
criterion
to
as
play
well,
the
but I feel like the
gods?
only thing that might be edging me towards Boris a little bit is that he's younger and he's got longer to live. I don't know if that should be a category.
Those
You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the...
Oh, sorry.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Should we argue about this?
Make her worthy of such grave responsibilities.
Boris deserves all the pleasures of life.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed. Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone.
Pragmatic.
I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
The only thing that I'm kind of weird about now is
This is
pragmatic.
highly abnormal.
What?
What is this? This lightning?
I don't know what I did to deserve it.
What? What's happening here? That I feel slightly weird about is... Oh god.
Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone.
Where have we gone?
Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
We're gonna have to fight now. The only thing I feel weird about now is that I don't want Ganache to have any pragmatic traits, actually. Because, yeah, now she's torn between pragmatic and romantic. This is right before that, right? 7:48, yeah, that's 3 minutes ago.
What do you think? What would you like to know? One of the brave few, thankfully,
Right.
quite the vet. Nearly everyone. Yes, I myself. But it's strange
make
in
sure-
this moment. You are?
So she'll say Stephen.
Stephen should receive the stone. We know full well the difficulty of growing up without a family.
And then she'll say...
Boris has an entire life ahead of him. We're giving him 40, 50 more years, while Stephen only has half as many left to him.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Boris it is?
Obedient and
Yes,
pragmatic, alright.
I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Right.
Thank
No,
the seven.
no, this is highly abnormal.
Bloodstone.
What is this? This lightning.
Inert stone.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
So she's obedient 3 now. But that doesn't mean the trait goes stronger, right? Oh, it just says a willpower bonus. So maybe she gets a willpower bonus of 3? If someone with leadership is in sight, well then we need someone with leadership. Sure. Altruistic 2? Reputation is increased by 2, yeah, so the trait score seems to increase the effect it has. Compassionate 2. Critical chance. Spiritual. You're immune to fear. And then we have Sulesa, who's pragmatic. Crafting is increased by 1, even though trait score is 2, though. I mean, to increase crafting by 2 probably requires a higher trait score. Independent. Trait score 2. Willpower is increased by 1. Just if you have the independent trait, right? Egotistical. Bartering is increased by 2. Heartless 2. You receive a chance to hit bonus of 20% when backstabbing. Compassionate probably better for a mage though, huh? And materialistic. Lawmaster is increased by 1. Yeah, I want that. More of that. Also, I still need to spend my ability score with her. I might also save it though. Just so that I can, like, level pyrokinetic to level 2. It requires a second one. Might do that. Bartering. Or, I mean, I go into the crafter direction. She does have the bonus. I'll keep it for now. Okay. So, what's going on here? Also, let's just quickly check. Apprentice in the stone. We chose to save Boris, a young man with many years ahead of him. Yes. So, no quest for this. Just get out alive or something. So is the healer here with us? I don't think so.
Terrible, terrible, terrible!
Zixzax.
It will consume us all!
Level 26, well, we better don't fight him. I like these book stacks. Vial rack. Wait, do we just literally just pick up a vial rack? Wait, where'd that go? A puff of light smoke curls into the air. When you open this vial, it reeks like an orc's breath blowing through an old boot. Let's loot everything.
Piece of trash.
Let's loot everything before we talk to him. I have a feeling he might, like, teleport us somewhere or something.
Another one.
Bottle
for
of
the
beer.
collection.
Hell yeah. Pillow. Wait. Do I wanna... What does this do? Oh, she just lies down, literally. Do I want, like... I don't think I need the plate and the pillow, right? I mean, unless I get a player home at some point and I get to... decorate it or something. Inactive portal.
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious.
Can't trade. Who are you?
Oh yes, proper introductions. Zixzax the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. How do we get to the edge of time and space? Just by using, like, a healing stone?
How you got here, though?
Yes, indeed.
That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens, and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
You know, I think that imp might be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
Can I talk to my... No, can't talk to each other.
Heard any good tales, my friend? Ask freely, my friend.
Yeah, we've talked about all of this.
Come now, don't be coy. Have a look through the looking lens.
Okay, sure.
You first, you first.
Oh, maybe I should have done it with the int 10 character. Or int 11 by now. Is that a dragon? Well... So what the hell was that?
You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal.
What?
It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go. The portal. It's quite sprung to life, just like the long dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more! It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one. Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
You first, alright, sure. Can I look through this again? Well, oh, it'll say, like, show me the same thing, I suppose. Okay. Let's save, I guess, to the Homestead Hall. Is that just back to Sicil then? I hope.
Just as I hoped.
Nope.
There she is. There it is. Don't delay.
What?
And he's off.
And he's off.
Seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Great. So where are we? Homestead Hall. I'm not ready for this, oh my god. And now I'm locked into this quest, right? Inactive portal. That's a lot of portals. Oh, is this like a... I'm missing a word now. Like, is this like a place that allows me to go to many different times and places? Like a crossroads of sorts? What's going on here? To the first garden. Well, can I go there? It doesn't seem like it. It says to the first garden, but if I click it, nothing happens. So there was this one portal that is active. Let's look around a bit first, though. Are you moving? Yeah. Okay, so this one's inactive as well. This one's inactive, so I suppose we'll return to this base later on in the game and then activate these other portals. For now we can just use the one. I mean, let's see if we can find Zixzax. This does look dangerous though. Inactive portal. They're all inactive. These ones aren't though, are they? No, it is. Even though there's like static electricity everywhere. A couple of vases. Nothing in them. I suppose I can like put them on here. Does that do anything? Not blocked. Massive like bronze statue. Zixzax over here. Another inactive. How many inactive portals are there? Holy crap. Is this like some kind of gateway to like all the...
Could it be, milady? The weaver
Way shrines
of
in the game or
time,
what?
Mother of history, author of all that has ever been.
Damn it. Now I didn't get to loot the treasure chest here. Last chest. Also it'd be really cool if you could actually travel through time in this game. If there's like mechanically a way where you can like go back in time and then influence the present or something. That'd be super cool. I don't know about that though.
Indeed, Sir.
Weaver of time.
As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Let's play along here.
A stone. So,
Ah,
it was a
damn it
stone
though.
that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well.
Maybe the other answer was like a
Is
special
that so?
intent answer or something. Being the smarty pants and knowing like if you're the weaver of time you already have an answer to this. Anyhow.
Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
It's a bit more significant than just one could assume from its function as a healing stone, right?
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not
Indeed.
woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
If these stones can heal history, we must seek them out.
Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why.
Also,
It seems
Lisa
that
said
you
that,
and you alone
okay.
can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void.
As sure as Zix comes before Zax, nice.
Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Sure. So what, log updated? So we gotta talk to each other now. But I also wanna...
I am the last chest. The last chest. The last chest!
Are
if
you
you
now?
believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it. Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me.
To the challenge. So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
Not a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
Say what Zixzax and the Weaver will. I need more evidence before I'll buy into this wild tale.
Come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver tells the truth, we have some serious work ahead of us.
Right, so let's have a look at our log here. Source Hunter's journey.
Source Hunter?
Oh, this is where this has been chronicled. One moment we're in Sicil and the next we're in some otherworldly realm where an imp called Zixzax is babbling about the end of time. Is this a dream, or do we really find ourselves at the end of time like the imp claims? Looked through Zixzax's looking lens and saw a great nothingness, a great void at the heart of space. What does this mean? And why does it fill us with so much dread? According to Zixzax, we're making the end of time grow. That is, we're delaying the end of ends. We can hardly tell whether this could be true, but we want to discover what lies beyond the portal that we've supposedly activated.
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
We met the Weaver of Time, who weaves the billions of threads that form time and space. She told us we're linked to a star stone, and that our reaction to these stones allows her to mend the frayed tapestry of time. We must find more star stones before they fall into the wrong hands. The Weaver of Time told us that we're not featured upon the tapestry of time, even though all the rest of history and creation is. Why are we the sole exceptions?
Come, I got something for you.
Is this some kind of reference to the meta-narrative of us being like the players? And the only parts of this world that are not controlled by the software the programmers is, but instead by player input? That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, what do we do now? Can we talk to them again?
Source Hunter? Do tell! The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet.
Indeed, no.
No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, you know, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days.
Indeed.
Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
The Weaver of Time said our finding starstones helps her weave the tapestry once more. How is that possible?
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
I have some questions for
Like
you.
the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot!
Nice. If I'm supposed to search for Starstone, it would be handy to know where to start looking.
Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist. Just like yourselves, starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the Tapestry of Time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent.
Consult with your agent. Also, ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. So that's just the whole world, isn't it? I still don't understand how Starstone and the Void Dragon are related.
Neither do I. But the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads.
Yeah.
And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time.
This is so much like a meta-narrative about this being a game and all, right? Kind of fun, though.
We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the Void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission?
Sure. You say you are the imp historian, but you seem more than a mere imp and more than a mere historian.
Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job.
That's your biggest fear here. Alright.
So, gather those starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever.
Dark Eye of the Void. So is this like my main quest now, or is it a side quest? Don't you find it somewhat lonesome being the sole chronicler of time?
Lonesome observing the frontier of creation? Surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore? Lonesome being privy to all that has been and all that is? Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago.
I like how he's just like going on about how lonesome it is to be the sole Weaver of Time, and we'll be like, I'll take my leave, bye.
Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you.
Oh?
My agent. My eyes and ears upon your world.
So I assume by agent he means like, you know, like agent, like secret agent, rather than, you know, my agent takes care of my business and sets up auditions for me.
I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence.
Is it, though? Isn't it quite the opposite? Don't we have, like, all the time in the universe? I don't know. Time travel makes my head spin. Zixzax told you the secret of waypoint travel. Oh, we didn't know that before, because we did encounter 2 waypoints, but apparently we weren't able to use them before. Use the Rift travel button to travel to any waypoint line you've discovered. Oh, Sicil Harbor, Sicil Northgate, Tranquil Beach, and the End of Time.
It
Open
shall
the
be my
homestead travel
pleasure,
menu.
Sir
This
Ilk.
works like a
I'll
waypoint
embroider
portal.
it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
Can I just take this? Like gold cup, useless but pretty, sell it. Oh yeah, well, like golden teaspoon. Stealing the Weaver of Time's tea set here. Okay, let's talk to her again.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest.
We can
I
trade
hope
with the
you begin
Weaver
to
of
find
Time.
this place more familiar than it may yet seem.
She just says some pixie that does some threads and needles though. Is that all it takes? Please tell me about yourself, madam.
In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions. The drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you.
Oh, so much commentary on the meta-narrative. There are more questions.
Ask, and I shall answer.
So who are you
if
really?
I can.
You're the program, right? Like the core function that keeps this thing going.
I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle.
Right.
Time alone will tell.
I mean, without me, without player input, this world would just lay still and come to an end, right? So I guess this is a metaphor for us progressing in the game and keeping this world alive.
Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old.
I like how we just ask everyone how they're lonely. You two have each other, no? No. The Weaver and the Chronicler of Time.
Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection.
What a nerd.
All I need, and all I am, is time. And time is running out, unless you remedy its decline. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship. For you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time.
Like every game is. And every game's creator has to account for the blind spot that is player input.
But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed.
Perchance is a nice word. I've heard this place called the End of Time. If that Is that what it is? No more or
What
less?
it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the star stones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever.
How can I redeem time if, as you say, I'm not even part of it?
I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here, at the end of time, and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations.
So, if you're making a game, and you're not entirely certain if there's ways the players can break it, abuse glitches, fall into traps, or encounter bugs, then you are like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations.
But suddenly there was you.
Suddenly
You
there
who
was
stirred
I.
the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These Starstones, please,
like the Tom Bombadil of
seek
this
them so
story,
that
right?
time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone.
For the sake of all that lives and all that loves. I do like the writing of this game. Okay. We've talked to
Good
him,
to
right?
see you on the like the imp said to the ballista operator. Shoot!
Shoot! Okay.
I am the last chest. The last chest.
To the last chest, alright. So these just represent portals that we have unlocked yet, I suppose? Because I can go through this rift travel menu, but I can also to the forbidden zone. Yeah, okay. I want to see what that's about. Okay, have I saved? The teleporter refuses to work. What now? Okay. Let's go to Sicil Northgate. I like how that little quest about saving one of two guys in a healer's house became this existential story about the end of time and
Source
my role in
Hunters,
creating it.
I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon
Hey,
after
Arho.
your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon.
How do you know
that agent is I.
Oh.
So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zixzax, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
Oh, there's my pepper.
So this is Ganache, so she'll say let us do so indeed.
And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected.
So that's how that fits together. He was seeking the stones.
That means the task you have been given remains crucial.
Yes, yes.
Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way.
Now this suddenly seems like a much bigger issue than just a jealous or whatever, like, flirtatious wife killing off her husband.
Did it sprout legs and run away?
Did it sprout legs and run away? Is that German accent so?
While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name.
Why is it so particularly nice for us to have found a shelter somewhere?
Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety.
Certainly.
But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though,
like any
I
cat worth
deeply
its salt.
cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly.
I wonder, do you put absolute credence in the words of Zixzax, time, void, the looming end?
Let me phrase it like Zixzax might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zixzax worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I laze beside the hearths of home.
Because you're a cat, get it? How did you become Zixzax's agent?
I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zixzax asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but
Where will
alas,
I find
I
that?
seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin.
Okay.
Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Sure. Wait. So does that mean we'll not have access to Arhu any longer? So should I buy all the stuff from him that I can now? While he's still here? They cost a lot of money with him, 384. The Resurrect Scrolls usually cost like 90. Does that mean everything is like 4 times as expensive with him? Maybe they're pretty expensive though, as well.
Did it
Oh, that's okay. Did it sprout legs and run away? Right. I'll take care of this in the next episode, though. See you then.